Picture yourself gliding slowly above a coral reef.
Oh, I can see it.
The water is warm and clear. Sunlight pours through the surface and breaks into shimmering ribbons that dance across the coral towers below.
Right.
Everywhere you look, life is moving.
Right.
A great parrotfish crunches noisily on coral. A sea turtle drifts past like a silent submarine. Schools of tiny fish flash and turn together, sparkling like silver confetti in the current.
It's just beautiful.
Feels busy, alive, constant.
Definitely.
But then something unusual catches your attention.
Oh.
A large fish swims toward a patch of coral and suddenly stops.
Just stopped.
It hovers there.
Wow.
Its body tilts slightly, its mouth opens wide, its gills flare.
That's a weird pose.
It doesn't dart away.
Okay.
It doesn't chase anything.
Right.
It simply waits.
Just waiting.
Moments later, a tiny fish appears.
Uh-huh.
Then another.
Oh, wow.
They swim right up to the much larger fish. One slips along its side. Another nips gently at its fins. One even disappears briefly inside the open mouth.
That sounds dangerous.
And the big fish does nothing.
Really?
No snapping jaws.
Wow.
No sudden chase.
Right.
No panic.
Incredible.
It stays perfectly still.
Yeah.
Calm. Patient. Almost as if everyone here knows the rules.
Yeah, totally.
Because in certain places on the reef, something remarkable happens. The usual order of the ocean pauses.
Yeah.
Hunters don't hunt. Smaller fish swim fearlessly beside animals that could easily eat them.
It's like magic.
And fish from all across the reef arrive, one after another, lining up as if they're waiting their turn.
Like a busy waiting room.
These underwater meeting spots may look ordinary at first glance,
But they're not.
but they are actually some of the most important places on the entire reef.
Absolutely.
Today, we're visiting one of the ocean's most fascinating and unexpected gathering places.
I'm just so excited for this.
Welcome back to Saltwater Stories, where this week we're exploring the incredible reef cleaning stations.
It really is one of the most magical things you can witness out there in the wild.
Oh, totally.
I mean, you have this incredibly busy, sometimes really dangerous underwater city. And then right in the middle of it, you find this zone of absolute peace.
Yeah.
Like a sanctuary where the usual rules of the food chain, they just vanish.
Yeah, completely vanished. And, sometimes it actually becomes this zone of absolute underwater comedy, too.
Oh, for sure.
Like, to get us started today, I have to tell you all a story, to everyone listening, about a very specific and very frustrated visitor to one of these cleaning stations.
Oh, I know this one. This is great.
Right. So, okay, imagine a torpedo ray.
Uh-huh.
If you're listening and you've never seen one, they look kind of like these large, flat, circular pancakes gliding over the sand.
Big sea pancakes.
Exactly. Big sea pancakes. Now, this particular ray desperately wants to be clean.
Right. He's itchy.
Yeah, he's just hovering there at the station waiting for the tiny fish to come help it out with some itchy spots.
Like a normal customer.
Like a normal customer. But here is the massive catch.
Literally massive.
Torpedo rays have these highly specialized muscle cells that can actually generate electricity.
Yeah, it's wild.
They can discharge up to 200 volts if you touch them.
And just for a bit of perspective on that for you guys listening, a standard wall outlet in your house is around what, 120 volts?
Right.
So this ray is carrying a serious, stunning electrical charge.
It's like a swimming power line.
Exactly. I mean, it is a fantastic defense mechanism against big sharks and stuff, but, well, it becomes a massive problem when you are trying to visit the doctor.
It is exactly the problem.
Mhm.
Because none of the tiny cleaners want to risk getting zapped.
No way.
They're looking at this ray hovering there and thinking, absolutely not. I am not touching that.
Too risky.
Way too risky. And the craziest part of the story,
Yeah.
the other fish that are waiting in line at the cleaning station, they actually band together to shoo the electric ray away.
That is so funny.
They do. They practically gang up on it, nudging it and swimming aggressively around it, basically saying, hey, you are a safety hazard, buddy. Please leave our clinic.
It is literally an underwater comedy of manners. It's like a bouncer kicking a customer out of the club.
Exactly. I just love picturing that grumpy electric ray having to swim away, still itchy.
Poor guy.
And for all of you listening today, we are going to meet so many amazing ocean creatures like that ray today.
Oh, so many.
We will introduce them along the way, but just so you know, we aren't going to explore their individual life stories too deeply just yet.
Right.
Because each of them has an incredible backstory worth telling, and they will absolutely return in future adventures.
They all deserve their own spotlight.
Exactly. Plus, We have already covered the magnificent, towering architecture of the coral reefs themselves previously.
Yeah, we did that.
So today, our focus is entirely on the inner workings of this exclusive underwater club.
And I think we can think of the coral reef as a bustling metropolis, right?
Yeah.
So if the reef is the city, the cleaning station is basically the local hospital
Oh, I like that.
and the dental clinic and the car wash, all seamlessly rolled into one big operation.
A hospital where the doctors are like the size of your finger.
Right.
And the patients could swallow a television.
Oh, literally, yes.
Which immediately brings up a huge biological puzzle for me.
What's that?
Like, what exactly is happening inside the brains of these animals?
Yeah.
In a world driven by survival, where big fish naturally eat small fish all day long,
Yeah.
how does a truce like this actually work?
Well, the foundation of this truce, it actually relies on a scientific concept called mutualism.
Mutualism. Huh?
Yeah. And if we break that word down, it comes from the idea of something being mutual or, shared.
Like a mutual agreement.
Exactly. It is nature's ultimate form of teamwork.
Oh, cool.
It is a highly specific relationship where two completely different species interact and both of them win.
They both win.
Yeah, they both receive a massive, measurable survival benefit from the interaction.
Okay, let's unpack the math of that survival benefit then.
Sure.
We have a tiny cleaner fish, right? And a massive client fish.
Yeah.
How does each side win in this setup?
Well, let's look at the tiny cleaner fish first.
Okay.
For them, swimming out into the open ocean to find food is an incredibly dangerous task.
Right, because they're basically bite-sized.
Exactly. They are tiny, so they are a perfect snack for almost anything swimming by.
Yeah.
But at the cleaning station, they do not have to hunt at all.
Oh,
The food comes directly to them voluntarily.
that is so convenient.
It is. They get a free, easy, highly nutritious meal made up of, well, the dead skin, bacteria, and irritating parasites that are stuck to the big fish.
Gross, but awesome for them.
Right. And for the big fish, well, they receive a vital health checkup.
Oh, I see.
They leave the station feeling physically better. They're free of disease-carrying bugs, and their wounds are clean so they can heal much faster.
So if we picture the scene for the listeners, you might have a massive Nassau grouper.
Oh, yeah. Huge fish.
These things can grow to be the size of a small car,
They are giant.
with a mouth like a rocky cavern. And it is waiting in line, hovering patiently, right next to a tiny little dancelfish.
It's wild. The normal rules of the food chain are completely suspended.
Just paused.
Yeah, because the biological urge to be healthy and pain-free is incredibly powerful.
But wait, turning off a predator's hunting instinct requires total absolute trust, right?
For sure.
If a shark or a giant Moray eel is going to open its mouth, how does its brain just turn off the instinct to swallow a bite-sized fish swimming right inside?
That's the big question.
I mean, predatory fish rely on those split-second instincts to survive.
They do. But it is a brilliant display of evolutionary game theory.
Game theory, how so?
Well, over millions of years, these predators have learned on a deep instinctual level that the long-term benefit of being healthy vastly outweighs the tiny, momentary caloric gain of swallowing one little cleaner fish.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right. Eating your doctor is a very bad long-term survival strategy.
Yeah, don't eat your doctor.
Exactly. A shark might get a tiny snack today, but next month, when it is covered in painful parasites, there will be no one left on the reef to help it.
Wow.
So the brain calculates that long-term health is worth more than a quick bite.
It makes total sense when you put it that way.
Yeah.
You do not eat the only guy in town who knows how to fix your toothache.
Nope. You want to keep him around.
So since we know where this magical truce is happening, we need to meet the brave doctors and nurses actually running the clinic.
We do. And the ocean has produced an amazing variety of these specialized workers.
Really? How many are we talking about?
Well, marine biologists have documented over 200 species of fish and 50 species of shrimp that perform this exact job.
200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are three main stars of the coral reef clinics we should probably introduce to everyone today.
Okay, let's start with the most famous one, the Blue Streak Cleaner wrasse.
Ah, yes. The undisputed star of the Indo-Pacific and the Red Sea.
They're so cool looking.
There are these slender, incredibly energetic little fish, about the size of a marker pen.
Okay.
They have a striking, bright blue body with a bold black stripe running horizontally right down the middle.
It's a very distinct look.
It is. And they are what scientists call obligate cleaners.
Obligate, meaning they obligated to do it.
Exactly. That means they rely entirely, 100%, on cleaning to survive.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it is their only source of food and their only job in the ocean.
Wow. And if you travel over to the Caribbean Sea, you won't actually find the wrasse, right?
No, you won't.
You find our second star, the neon goby.
Oh, I love the neon goby.
They're even smaller, and they have these brilliant electric blue stripes that look like glowing neon signs.
Hence the name.
Hence the name.
Yeah.
And they are totally fearless. They just sit right on top of massive brain corals, wait for giant groupers to pull up.
They really are fearless. But, we also cannot forget the crustacean medics.
Oh, the shrimp.
The cleaner shrimp. Specifically, the skunk cleaner shrimp, which has a bright red back with a striking white stripe down the center.
Like a skunk stripe, but red and white.
Right. And then there's the Peterson cleaner shrimp.
Oh, those are fascinating.
They are, because its body is almost completely transparent or see-through, except for some bright purple spots.
The shrimps are wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they set up these little clinics in dark, rocky caves or sometimes right inside the stinging tentacles of sea anemones.
Which is a whole other level of crazy.
Right, and all of these cleaners, whether they are fish or shrimp, they have incredible physical adaptations for the job.
They really do.
Like, their mouths aren't built for crushing shells or hunting.
No.
They have specialized tweezer-like snouts.
Like little forceps.
Exactly. Perfectly shaped to pluck microscopic bugs off without hurting the big fish's healthy skin.
The anatomy of their mouths is precision engineered for delicate extraction.
It's amazing.
It is. And beyond their physical tools, their uniforms are a massive piece of the puzzle.
Oh, the colors.
Right. Notice how the wrasse, the goby, and the shrimp all feature bright, high contrast stripes.
Yeah, usually neon blue, stark black, or bright yellow.
Exactly.
So they all look kind of similar in their color patterns, even though a shrimp and a goby are completely different animals living in totally different parts of the world.
Right. And this is a textbook example of a magnificent biological process called convergent evolution.
Okay, convergent evolution. Let's try to explain that for the listeners with a superhero analogy.
Oh, I love a superhero analogy. Let's hear it.
Okay, imagine if different superhero teams across the universe who lived on different planets and had never, ever met each other.
Right. Totally separate.
Totally separate. Imagine they all independently ended up wearing the exact same bright blue and yellow capes.
Okay.
Why would they do that?
Why indeed?
Well, imagine if the universe is a giant filter. If a hero wore a brown cape, nobody recognized them, so they couldn't help anyone.
They just blended in.
Right. The universe filtered out the bad colors. Eventually, only the heroes wearing bright blue and yellow were recognized instantly by citizens everywhere as the good guys. Even though they live in completely different oceans and have no genetic relation, the gobies, the wrasses, and the shrimp all independently evolved the exact same bright colors to advertise peace.
That is such a fantastic analogy.
Thanks. The ocean filtered out any cleaner that didn't look like a doctor.
It really is the universal uniform for, I am a medic, please do not eat me.
Right.
The environment applies selective pressure.
Selective pressure, okay.
Yeah, like if a cleaner shrimp mutated to be dull gray, a hungry snapper probably ate it before realizing it was trying to clean.
Oops.
Yeah, oops for the shrimp. The bright colors survived because they worked as a universal stop sign for predators.
A stop sign.
Yeah, the uniform is essential because they're dealing with highly dangerous clients who make split-second decisions.
Wait, do they just sit there on a rock and hope a giant fish understands their outfit?
Well, no.
What if a reef shark swims by too fast to notice the blue stripe?
They do not just wait passively, they actively advertise.
How do they advertise?
Using elaborate biomechanical dances.
Dances?
Yeah. When a blue streak cleaner wrasse sees a potential client approaching, it swims up into the water column and performs a highly specific rhythmic up and down bobbing dance.
Like a little bounce.
Exactly. It flares its tail and bounces. It's the underwater equivalent of waving a giant neon open for business sign.
That is so cute. And the shrimp do something totally different, but just as obvious, right?
Yes.
It's called leg rocking.
Leg rocking, yep.
They wave their long, bright white antenna back and forth like ground crew workers guiding an airplane onto a runway.
It looks exactly like that.
And scientists actually discovered that the shrimp wave those antennas much faster when a dangerous predator approaches compared to a harmless vegetarian fish.
They really speed it up.
They are literally shouting with their body language, "Doctor here. I am a doctor, not a snack. Please look at my antenna."
Yes. It is entirely about catching the client's visual attention and establishing that mutual trust long before the predator gets within striking distance.
Okay, so the doctors have their bright uniforms on. They're doing their elaborate bobbing and rocking dances. The clinic is officially open.
It's open for business.
Who are the VIP clients coming in for an appointment?
Honestly, almost every single creature on the reef.
Everyone.
Pretty much. You have herbivorous parrotfish coming in constantly.
Right, because they eat algae.
Yeah, they get covered in tiny pests while they are busy scraping algae off the rocks all day.
Makes sense.
And then you have giant Moray eels slithering out of their dark caves.
Oh, wow.
They open their mouths incredibly wide so the tiny shrimp can crawl right inside and walk across their needle-like teeth to pick out scraps of food.
That visual is just stunning.
It's wild to
A
watch.
fragile little shrimp walking on razor-sharp eel teeth, trusting that the eel won't just snap its jaws shut.
The ultimate trust exercise. Seriously.
Yeah.
And it's not just local reef fish who use these stations, right? Giants from the open ocean travel huge distances to visit, too.
Oh, absolutely. Open ocean travelers depend heavily on these stations,
Like who?
like pelagic thresher sharks.
Okay, those have the really long tails, right?
Yes, exactly. They normally spend their time hunting in the freezing, deep, dark ocean.
Right.
But they will purposefully swim up to shallow, sunlit seamounts just to hover perfectly still.
Just to get cleaned.
They will drop their tails and let tiny butterfly fish and wrasses pick their skin clean of deep-sea parasites.
That is incredible.
And then, of course, you have the green sea turtles.
Oh, the sea turtles might be my absolute favorite.
They are amazing.
They carry incredibly heavy loads of algae and sharp barnacles on their shells, you know?
They really do.
And over time, that extra weight creates drag in the water, which slows them down and tires them out.
It's like wearing a heavy backpack all the time.
Exactly. So they visit the coral cleaning stations to get their shells thoroughly scrubbed.
And to do this, they do something amazing with their bodies.
Oh, the heart rate thing.
Yes. They slow their heart rates down to an absolute crawl.
Wow.
It's a state called bradycardia. This allows them to hold their breath underwater for over an hour.
Over an hour. That's insane.
Just to stay at the station and get the full, uninterrupted spa treatment.
It really shows how critical the cleaning is, you know?
Yeah.
That a reptile would suppress its need for oxygen just to ensure its shell is properly serviced.
It's a huge commitment.
It is. But whether you are an ancient turtle, a massive shark, or a tiny parrotfish, you have to follow the strict rules of communication.
Right?
You must prove you come in peace before the cleaners will approach.
Yes. The pose.
The pose.
To get clean, the client fish have to freeze in these totally unnatural, bizarre positions.
That looks so funny.
Some of them stand completely vertically on their heads, balancing with just their fins.
Like they're doing a handstand.
Exactly. Others point their noses straight up to the sunlight at the surface. They flare their delicate gills as wide open as possible, exposing their most vulnerable breathing organs.
Very vulnerable.
And they open those terrifying jaws and just, well, freeze like statues.
It is a profound, silent language.
Yeah.
They are using extreme body posture to clearly signal, I surrender my weapons, I am entirely vulnerable, you are safe to approach.
It's like playing a giant high-space game of underwater statue.
It totally is.
And along with the physical posing, they actually alter their physical appearance. Right?
Yeah.
Like they change color.
They do. Many client fish will physically flush their skin to a much darker shade when they enter the pose.
Really dark.
Yeah. They do this by expanding special pigment-filled sacs in their skin called chromatophores.
Metaphors. Okay.
And the biological reason for doing this is brilliant.
Wait, I want to guess this one.
Go for it.
Let me think. Is it because the nasty little parasites they want removed are usually very pale or translucent?
Okay, you're on the right track.
By expanding those pigment sacs and turning their skin dark, they're creating a high-contrast background.
Yeah.
It's like turning into a dark chalkboard so the tiny right bugs pop out visually.
Exactly.
It makes it so much easier for the tiny cleaners to spot the pests.
That is exactly the mechanism at work. The client is actively manipulating its own skin cells to make the parasite a highly visible target for the doctor.
But what if the doctor makes a mistake? What if the tiny wrasse gets a little too eager and pinches the client too hard with those tweezer mouths while digging for a bug?
Well, the client has a specific communication signal for that, too.
They do.
Yeah, marine biologists call it the jolt.
The jolt.
If a cleaner accidentally nips healthy skin instead of a parasite, the giant fish will twitch its body violently.
Like a spasm.
Yeah, it's a rapid, forceful shudder. It serves as a polite but very firm, ouch, watch it, be careful with the tweezers.
A polite warning shudder.
Yeah.
I love the manners involved here.
It's very civilized.
So we keep mentioning these parasites, these tiny bugs.
We do.
Why are massive, incredibly powerful animals like a hammerhead shark or a giant grouper so utterly desperate for help that they will wait in line, stand on their heads, and physically change their skin color?
Right.
Let's meet the villains of our story.
Oh, the villains. The primary villains driving this entire economy are tiny external parasites.
Okay.
The two most common offenders found on coral reefs are calogid copepods, which are often simply called sea lice,
Sea lice, yuck.
and nethiid isopods.
Let's focus on the gnathidates.
Yeah.
Because these guys sound like the absolute worst.
They really are.
They're basically the mosquitoes of the ocean.
That's a great way to put it.
They look like tiny, translucent aquatic ticks with lots of gripping legs.
Yeah.
And they are incredibly sneaky in how they operate.
They are masters of ambush.
How so?
Well, they spend their days hiding deep in the sand and the crushed coral rubble.
Oh, hiding from the light.
Right, avoiding the sunlight and the predators.
Yep.
But at night, when the cleaning stations are officially closed and the diurnal reef fish are settling down into crevices to sleep.
Diurnal meaning awake during the day, right?
Exactly. When those fish go to sleep, the gnathids launch their attack.
A night ambush.
They swim up into the water column in swarms,
Swarms.
and they latch tightly onto the sleeping fish's soft skin, their delicate gills, and their fins, using sharp mouth parts to drink their bodily fluids.
Oh, that is horrifying. So come morning, when the sun rises, these poor fish wake up literally covered in marine mosquitoes.
Pretty much.
They are itchy,
Yeah.
drained, and they immediately rush to the doctors.
They need relief.
But why are these tiny bugs so dangerous? Aside from being incredibly itchy and annoying, why does a giant fish care about a bug the size of a sesame seed?
Well, the danger lies in the physiological stress response.
Stress response.
Yeah. Scientists have carefully measured this in laboratories. Having gnathids attached to your body literally doubles a fish's stress levels.
It doubles it.
Yes. It causes a massive spike in cortisol, which is the primary stress hormone.
Right. Cortisol is the fight or flight hormone, right?
Exactly.
When you are constantly stressed, your body is burning through energy, just being on high alert.
Precisely. That constant state of stress massively drains the fish's cellular energy.
So they get exhausted.
A fish heavily covered in parasites simply cannot swim as fast. Its muscle reflexes slow down, and its maximum escape speed drops significantly.
And in the wild ocean, a slow fish is a dead fish.
Unfortunately, yes.
If you cannot swim fast, you quickly become someone else's lunch.
Right.
So the tiny cleaners are literally saving these giant animals' lives just by removing the physical drag and lowering the chemical stress in their bodies.
They are. But the story of stress relief goes even deeper than that.
Deeper. How?
What if the cleaners just swam up, quickly plucked the bugs off, and swam away? Would the client fish immediately feel better?
Well, the biting bugs would be gone, so the source of the pain is gone. I would assume they feel better.
They would. But the cleaners provide an additional service beyond just pest removal.
Additional service, like what?
They actually provide a physical massage.
A massage? How does a fish give an underwater massage? They don't have hands.
I know, it sounds crazy. But they use what scientists call tactile stimulation.
Tactile stimulation.
The cleaner wrasse, for example, will swim up close and flutter its little pectoral and pelvic fins rapidly against the big fish's skin.
Just fluttering them.
Yeah, almost like a rapid drum roll.
Oh, wow.
Scientists were so fascinated by this that they actually built a robotic cleaner fish to test it in a controlled environment.
A robot fish.
Yeah. And they proved that this specific physical rubbing, this fin massage, chemically lowers the big fish's stress hormones.
It chemically lowers it.
Yes, the physical touch directly signals the fish's endocrine system to stop producing cortisol. It actively chemically calms them down.
So it isn't just a clinical doctor's office. It is a literal chemical spa treatment.
It really is.
The big fish are going there specifically to relax, like, please remove these mosquitoes, and also my shoulders are super tense. Can I get 5 minutes of fin fluttering?
That is a very accurate way to view it.
That's hilarious.
And there is a strategic reason for the massage, too.
No.
If a predatory client arrives at the station looking a little too hungry, agitated, or erratic,
Right, like they might snap.
the tiny cleaner will often spend extra time just massaging them before doing any bug removal.
Wow.
It is a strategy called pre-conflict management.
Pre-conflict management.
The cleaner wants to chemically calm the predator down so the predator doesn't make a rash decision and eat the doctor.
You seem very hangry today, Mr. Shark. Let me just give you a highly soothing fin flutter to lower your cortisol before I check your gills.
Exactly.
That is an incredible survival strategy.
It's brilliant.
So it sounds like this perfect, peaceful utopia of teamwork. The big fish get a spa day, the little fish get a meal, everybody wins.
Yeah, it seems perfect.
But nature's full of drama.
Always.
What happens when someone decides to break the rules? What happens when someone cheats?
Oh, the underwater drama is intense.
I bet.
Because as it turns out, the cleaner wrasse's absolute favorite food in the world isn't actually the gross, crunchy, gnathiid parasite.
Wait, if it isn't the bugs, what are they actually trying to eat?
Their preferred meal is the client fish's healthy, sugary, protective mucus.
Mucus?
Yeah. Every fish in the ocean is covered in a thick slime coat.
Right, they feel slimy.
This mucus layer is vital. It protects them from bacterial infections and helps them glide smoothly through the water.
Okay.
And to a cleaner wrasse, that mucus is incredibly delicious and packed with calories.
So they want the slime.
It is much tastier and more nutritious than a hard-shelled parasite.
Sure.
But taking a bite of that healthy mucus is a huge violation of the cleaning station rules.
Oh, definitely.
It is the definition of cheating.
Because ripping off the protective slime coat physically hurts the big fish, right?
It does.
And it exposes their skin to dangerous ocean bacteria.
Exactly.
So how does this complex underwater economy handle a cheating doctor? Do they have a police force?
Not exactly a police force. They handle it through a concept called biological market theory.
Biological market theory.
It operates remarkably like human economics.
Yeah.
Specifically, supply and demand.
Supply and demand underwater.
Yeah. If a cleaner bites the mucus, the client must punish them to maintain the integrity of the market.
Wow.
But how they punish the cheating doctor depends entirely on who the client is.
Let's break that down with the neighborhood analogy.
Let's do it.
If the client is what marine biologists call a roamer,
Right.
meaning a large fish like a shark or a manta ray that travels far and wide across the open ocean,
Right. They move around a lot.
they have endless options.
Yeah.
If a cleaner at one reef bites their mucus, the roamer just gives an angry jolt, swims away, and takes their valuable business to a completely different competing cleaning station on the other side of the reef.
They leave.
That's like, terrible service, you bit my slime coat. I'm leaving a 0-star review and taking my business to the clinic next door.
Exactly. The roaming client exercises its purchasing power. The cheating cleaner loses a highly valuable parasite-rich customer.
Right.
But what happens if the client is a resident?
A resident, meaning they stay put.
Right. A resident is a small or territorial fish, like a damselfish, that is stuck living near that one specific coral head.
Oh, okay.
And they simply do not have the option to travel to another cleaning station safely.
Then they have a monopoly problem.
They do.
They can't just leave and find a new doctor.
Yeah.
So what do they do when the only doctor in town bites them?
They use physical discipline.
Physical
The
discipline.
resident fish, despite being the one who needs the cleaning, will violently and aggressively chase the cheating cleaner wrasse around the coral head.
Just chase them.
They will expend a massive amount of their own energy just to terrorize the cleaner and teach it a harsh lesson.
Wow.
It is their way of enforcing the rules. Like, I live here, I have to come back to this exact clinic tomorrow, and you better remember how angry I am so you do not bite me again.
That is intense.
And remarkably, cognitive studies show that the cleaner fish actually learn from this punishment.
They remember.
They will remember that specific resident fish and provide much better, gentler service to them the next time they visit.
So they are trading goods and services, they are managing customer reviews, they understand supply and demand, and they actively enforce penalties for bad service.
It's a whole economy.
It is a fully functioning underwater economy.
Yeah.
But the cheating cleaner wrasse, who just wants a little extra sugar, isn't even the most dangerous rule breaker on the reef, right?
Oh, I'm not even close.
We have to talk about the ultimate imposter.
The false cleaner fish.
Yeah.
This is where evolutionary strategy gets truly deceptive.
Introducing the real villain of the reef for you guys,
Yeah.
the false cleaner fish.
The worst.
It sounds like a wrasse, but it is actually a completely different species called a saber-toothed blenny.
Yes.
And it is an absolute master of disguise.
Masterclass.
It wears the exact same blue and yellow uniform as the honest, hardworking blue-streaked cleaner wrasse. The stripes match perfectly.
Perfect match.
It even copies the rhythmic up and down bobbing dance to perfection.
It is an incredible display of a biological phenomenon known as aggressive mimicry.
Aggressive mimicry.
The blenny has evolved to look exactly like the trusted doctor and act exactly like the trusted doctor purely to exploit the trust of the community.
That is so devious. But when the big client fish swims up, relaxes its guard, goes into its statue pose, and drops all its defenses,
Right.
the imposter darts in. And it doesn't want parasites.
No.
It doesn't want mucus. It takes a huge, violent bite out of the big fish's fins or gills with its massive, razor-sharp canine teeth,
Yes, the saber-tooth part.
and then uses its speed to dart away and hide deep inside a rock crevice.
It literally rips a chunk of flesh out of the client.
That is awful.
It is a complete devastating betrayal of the cleaning station truce.
Which raises a huge logical question for me.
What's that?
If I have a giant grouper,
Yeah.
how do I ever trust anyone again?
Right.
If there are imposters swimming around in fake doctor coats, pulling off flawless disguises, why even risk going to the clinic?
It's a huge risk.
Like, if I went to the dentist in my town, and there was a 50-50 chance the dentist was actually just a guy in a disguise waiting to bite a chunk out of my ear,
You'd never go.
I would never, ever go to the dentist.
It is a phenomenal question, and it comes down to lived experience and deep observation.
Okay.
Juvenile fish, who are new to the reef, do get tricked and bitten by the false cleaners all the time.
Poor little guys.
It is a painful learning curve. But older, wiser fish learn to look incredibly closely at the subtle anatomical details.
What are they looking for?
The false cleaner fish has a slightly different mouth shape.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it has an underslung jaw situated lower on its face
Okay.
compared to the terminal pointy mouth of the real wrasse.
Ah, I see.
So the older veteran clients will hover very close. They carefully inspect the face of the cleaner before posing.
Peering right at them.
And if they spot that underslung jaw, they will aggressively chase the imposter away before it has a chance to strike.
They actually check the doctor's ID badge.
Basically, yeah.
Hold on a second. Your uniform is perfect, your dance is great, but your jawline looks a little saber-toothy to me. Get out of my face.
Show me your credentials.
So, dealing with all of this complex social interaction, managing the cheaters, spotting the imposters, remembering who chased you yesterday for bad service, servicing hundreds of daily clients. That requires an unbelievable amount of brain power.
It really does.
Just how smart are these tiny cleaners?
They are absolute cognitive marvel.
Marvels.
Yes, despite having a brain that is literally smaller than a garden pea,
So tiny.
weighing less than a tenth of a single gram.
Wow.
The blue streak cleaner wrasse possesses an incredible complex memory.
Really?
Experiments have shown they can individually recognize and remember the faces of over 100 different client fish.
On 100 different faces. Most humans struggle to remember a dozen people at a party.
It's true, and they don't just remember the faces, they remember the specific history of interactions with each face.
No way.
Yes, they remember which resident fish chased them for cheating 3 days ago, and which roamer fish swam away to a different clinic.
That is insane.
And they actively adjust their future behavior and the quality of their service based on those specific historical memories.
That is wild. They are holding grudges and managing VIP lists.
They absolutely are.
But the scientific discoveries about their brains go even further than memory, right?
They do.
Let's talk about one of the most famous experiments in animal intelligence, the mirror test.
The mirror self-recognition test.
Yes.
This is a monumental benchmark in the study of animal intelligence.
Why is it such a big deal?
Well, for decades, the scientific community widely believed that only highly intelligent mammals,
Like who?
creatures with massive, complex brains like chimpanzees, bottlenose dolphins, and elephants. We thought they were the only ones who could look into a mirror and cognitively understand. That reflection is me, my own body, not another animal looking back at me.
Right, because if you put a mirror in front of a dog or a parrot, they usually bark at it or peck the glass, right?
Exactly, thinking it's a rival animal invading their territory.
They don't understand reflections.
No, they don't.
So how did the scientists apply this test to our tiny little ocean doctor?
A dedicated team of researchers designed a very careful experiment.
Set the scene.
First, they placed a mirror inside the tank with a cleaner wrasse.
Just dropped it in.
Yep. And initially, the fish reacted just like a dog might. It displayed aggressive behavior toward the reflection, thinking it was a rival cleaner wrasse entering its territory.
Just attacking the glass.
Right. But over several days, the behavior shifted dramatically.
It stopped attacking.
It stopped attacking. It began turning its body at odd angles, swimming upside down, intensely studying how the reflection perfectly mirrored its own movements.
It was testing in the physics of the mirror. Wow.
Then came the critical phase of the test.
What did they do?
The scientists safely and temporarily placed a small, harmless brown mark on the fish's throat.
Okay.
A spot the fish could not possibly see directly with its own eyes. It could only see the mark if it looked in the mirror.
And crucially, that brown mark was designed to look exactly like a little dark parasite stuck to its skin, right?
Precisely.
So what happened?
They introduced the fish back to the mirror. The wrasse swam up to the glass.
Good.
It looked at its reflection. It examined the brown mark on the throat of the reflection.
Oh my gosh.
And then it did something that stunned the biological world.
What did it do?
It swam down to the bottom of the tank, turned its body, and actively scraped its own throat against a rough rock in an attempt to remove the mark.
Let's just pause and think about the magnitude of that.
It's huge.
You are telling me a fish the size of my finger, with a brain smaller than a pea, recognizes the physics of a reflection, understands its own body image, and does complex social math on which customers to cheat.
I am telling you exactly that. Passing that test proves they possess private self-awareness.
Private self-awareness.
They hold a mental, cognitive concept of who they are as an individual and what they look like.
That is mind-blowing.
It completely shattered the traditional scientific hierarchy of intelligence.
I can see why.
It proves that fish are not just mindless biological robots swimming on pure instinct. They are self-aware, highly observant problem solvers capable of running a complex socioeconomic business.
That gives you literal goosebumps.
Doesn't it?
It makes you look at every single tiny silver flash in the ocean with so much more profound respect.
Absolutely.
They have a sense of self. So if these tiny, self-aware genius fish are doing so much heavy lifting, lowering the stress of the reef and holding this whole delicate economy together,
Right.
what would happen to the ocean if they suddenly disappeared?
That specific, terrifying question is exactly what Dr. Lexa Gretter, a leading marine biologist, wanted to answer.
Oh, she wanted to test it.
She did. And to find out, she orchestrated an incredible, long-term, highly controlled experiment on the Great Barrier Reef in Australia.
Walk us through the methodology. How do you test the disappearance of a species in the wild ocean?
Well, Dr. Gretter and her team carefully and safely removed every single blue streak cleaner wrasse from several small, isolated patches of the reef.
They just took them all away.
Yeah, they essentially shut down the hospitals on those specific coral blocks.
Wow, okay.
And then they committed to observing those specific reefs and comparing them to neighboring reefs that still had their cleaners.
For how long?
For an astonishing 8.5 years to see exactly what would happen.
8.5 years of daily observation in the ocean.
Incredible dedication.
That is true dedication. And what were the results of closing down the clinics?
The results were nothing short of an ecological catastrophe.
Catastrophe.
Yes. The trophic cascade was immediate. Within just a few days of the cleaners being removed, the number of naphide isopod parasites on the remaining fish skyrocketed.
Because the doctors were gone.
Right. Without the doctors there to pick them off, the parasites multiplied exponentially.
Because the predators of the bugs were gone, the ocean mosquitoes completely took over the neighborhood.
Precisely. And as the months and years rolled on, the long-term effects devastated the architecture of the community.
How bad did it get?
Visitor fish, those large roamers from the open ocean like sharks and rays, they simply stopped coming to those specific reefs entirely.
Oh, wow.
I mean, why would you visit a town that doesn't have a functioning hospital?
Good point.
And the local resident fish, the ones that couldn't leave their territories, they became chronically sick.
Because they couldn't just swim away.
Exactly. They suffered significantly higher mortality rates, especially the vulnerable younger fish. Their physical growth stunted.
The studies I read even noted that the lack of cleaners actively impaired the brain function and cognitive abilities of the remaining fish.
Yes, that's true.
Because their bodies were under the constant, grueling chemical stress of carrying parasites. All their energy went to survival. totally draining their mental energy for learning or avoiding predators.
The stress load just collapsed the system. By the end of the study, the overall biodiversity on those cleaner-free reefs dropped by nearly a quarter.
A quarter.
Yes. Just by removing one tiny finger-sized species of fish, 25% of the total life in that area, different species of fish, crustaceans, and the creatures that rely on them simply vanished or died.
Which perfectly illustrates a massive foundational concept in ecology. The keystone species.
Yes, the keystone.
Let's explain how load-bearing architecture works in the wild for the kids listening.
Okay, imagine a keystone is the central wedge-shaped stone at the very top of a stone archway.
The one right in the middle at the top.
Right. It is often the smallest stone, but it locks all the other massive stones into position.
So it holds all the weight.
Exactly. If you pull that one small stone out, the entire giant archway collapses into rubble.
So the cleaner fish might look incredibly tiny and insignificant compared to a massive reef shark or a giant sea turtle.
But they aren't insignificant at all.
They are the biological keystone. Every other animal's health, stress levels, and survival depend on them to keep the structure standing.
Yep.
If the cleaners vanish, the reef collapses.
They are the absolute linchpin of the reef's health.
So, knowing that they are the keystone holding up the entire ocean metropolis, the big question is, how do we keep them safe?
It is a huge question.
Because they are facing modern threats, right?
Mm.
Climate change, pollution, warming waters.
Yes, the threats are severe. Warming oceans cause coral bleaching, which literally destroys the physical rocky homes and the clinics of the cleaners.
Their hospitals are melting.
Exactly. And overfishing by humans removes their large pelagic clients,
Oh,
meaning the cleaners lose their primary food source and their economy crashes.
so what do we do?
To protect them, modern marine conservation relies heavily on establishing MPAs.
Marine protected areas. Let's explain those. They're essentially giant, invisible underwater national parks.
Right.
They're designated zones in the ocean where commercial fishing, drilling, and destructive human activities are strictly prohibited by law.
Protected spaces.
It gives the big fish a safe haven to grow old and huge, which means the cleaners always have a steady stream of massive customers, and the local economy stays incredibly strong.
And beyond legal protections, marine biologists are inventing incredible non-invasive new technologies to study these stations without disrupting their delicate peace.
Because human SQB divers are incredibly loud and disruptive.
We really are. We blow massive streams of noisy bubbles that scare the naturally cautious fish away.
So how do you effectively watch and study a secret underwater cleaning station without actually being there?
Well, biologists deploy underwater robots,
Robots.
specifically AUVs, autonomous underwater vehicles.
Cool.
These are highly advanced, silent robot submarines that do not use noisy, churning propellers.
So they're quiet?
Very quiet. Some of the newest models even swim using bio-inspired, flexible tail fins.
Wait, they have tails?
Yeah, so they physically look and move through the water exactly like a natural fish.
That is genius.
They can quietly hover at a cleaning station and record hundreds of hours of high-definition video without ever triggering the flight response or disturbing the natural truce of the animals.
And then they use artificial intelligence software to scan through those hundreds of hours of video to automatically count and identify every single fish that visits.
Yes, it saves so much time.
But honestly, my absolute favorite piece of new marine technology is eDNA.
Environmental DNA. It is completely revolutionizing how we understand the ocean.
It is exactly like underwater forensic detective work.
It really is.
Think about it. Every time a human brushes their hair, they leave a little bit of DNA behind.
True.
Fish do the exact same thing. They're constantly shedding tiny microscopic skin cells, scales, and mucus into the water as they swim. So all a scientist has to do is take a single, simple cup of seawater from right above a coral cleaning station.
Just scoop it up.
That water is completely full of invisible genetic fingerprints.
Exactly.
The scientists take that cup back to a laboratory, sequence the DNA, and the eDNA tells them exactly which species of sharks, which specific turtles, and which tiny parasites visited that cleaning station that day.
All from a cup of water.
Without the scientists ever having to catch, hook, or bother a single living animal.
It is brilliant. It allows us to map the invisible traffic patterns of the ocean in ways we never thought possible.
It's amazing.
We can continuously monitor the health, the population, and the diversity of these keystone species purely from the invisible genetic trail they leave behind in the water.
It is basically CSI, coral reef.
Totally.
Well, we have covered such an immense amount of ground today. What a phenomenal, magical journey into the hidden systems of the ocean.
It really has been.
We started the story with an electric torpedo ray, getting politely but firmly bounced from the local club because he was a 200-volt shock hazard.
Still makes me laugh.
We met the brave, transparent Peterson cleaner shrimp fearlessly walking across the razor-sharp teeth of a giant Moray eel to pick its teeth clean.
We examine the intense drama of the false cleanerfish imposters pulling off perfect disguises.
Yes, the villains.
And we broke down the complex economic rules of biological market theory governing supply, demand, and punishment.
We marveled at the absolute mind-bending genius of the tiny wrasse passing the mirror test, recognizing its own reflection and scraping its own throat.
Such a cool experiment.
And finally, we realized through Dr. Gretter's incredible long-term observations that these tiny finger-sized doctors are the keystone blocks holding the entire majestic, sprawling coral reef ecosystem together.
It completely reframes how we look at survival in the wild.
It really does.
It is not always about the biggest teeth or the fastest swimmer. Sometimes survival is about communication and care.
It really does change everything. I want to say a sincere, massive thank you to all of you listeners for joining us on this incredible story today.
Yes, thank you all.
The ocean is full of endless, beautiful mysteries, and getting to share them with you and unraveling how they work is absolutely the best part of this journey.
Indeed. It is a profound privilege to explore these complex underwater cities together and learn from the incredible systems they have built.
I want to leave you with one final provocative thought before we go today.
Oh, good one.
The next time you see teamwork happening in your own life, whether it is passing the ball on a sports team, collaborating on a big project in a classroom, or even just helping a sibling with a chore at home, I want you to think back and remember the giant, terrifying shark hovering peacefully next to the tiny, delicate shrimp.
That's a great image.
Cooperation isn't just a polite or nice thing to do. In the wild, unforgiving ocean, teamwork is the ultimate superpower for survival. Think about what invisible cleaning stations or helpful systems of teamwork exist right now in your own neighborhood. Who are the keystone species in your own community, making sure everyone stays healthy, supported, and happy?
I love that.
Keep your eyes wide, your curiosity flowing, and may your next adventure be as wondrous as the ocean itself. Farewell, explorers.
See you next time on Saltwater Stories.